Light is Britain's far-right conspiracy theory paper spreading hate and vicious lies. No, that's what the BBC say. The Light is the only national newspaper bringing you the real news and informed opinion on what's really going on today. You can subscribe, order copies, submit articles, and read back issues on our website, thelightpaper.co.uk, and see for yourself why the establishment are so worried about the uncensored truth getting out to people every month. The Light Paper. Not far right, just right so far. thelightpaper.co.uk.
Scene script. Have you ever pondered the idea of financial independence and early retirement? The notion of not having to clock in at 9 or wrestle with the daily grind? Imagine a life where you're not shackled by financial obligations or a demanding job. It's not an impossible dream, but a reality for those who embrace the FIRE movement. That's financial independence, retire early. Consider the tale of Jane, a woman in her early 30s. Jane was an ordinary person living an ordinary life. She had a 9-to-5 job, a mortgage, car payments, and a lifestyle that was comfortable but hardly extravagant. And like most people, she dreamed of a life where she didn't have to worry about money. Jane decided to make a change. She began by cutting back on non-essential expenses, saving as much of her income as possible. She invested wisely, focusing on assets that generated passive income that didn't require her to trade time for money. Slowly but surely, Jane began to build her financial independence. She was still working, but she was no longer living paycheck to paycheck. She had a safety net, a cushion that gave her the freedom to make choices based on what she wanted, not what she needed. Fast forward 10 years, Jane, now in her early 40s, had achieved her goal. She was financially independent. She had enough passive income to cover her living expenses, and she no longer needed to work to survive. She was free to retire early, to spend her time as she pleased. Jane's story may seem extraordinary, but it's not unique. It's the story of anyone who has embraced the principles of the FIRE movement. It's a tale of discipline, of sacrifice, and of a relentless pursuit of financial independence. To summarize, the key points discussed today revolve around the idea of financial independence and early retirement. It requires discipline and sacrifice, cutting back on non-essential expenses and saving as much as possible. It involves investing wisely, focusing on assets that generate passive income. But most importantly, it requires a change in mindset. It's about seeing money not as a means to buy things, but as a tool to buy freedom. It's about understanding the true value of time and the freedom that comes with not having to trade it for money. This is the essence of the FIRE movement. It's not just about retiring early, it's about achieving financial independence, about gaining the freedom to live life on your own terms. Like Jane, you too can embrace the principles of the FIRE movement and embark on a journey towards financial independence and early retirement. After all, the only thing standing between you and your financial freedom is you.
Ever wondered how much you'd need to save to achieve financial independence? The answer lies within the mathematics of a concept known as FIRE, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The most essential number in your journey to financial independence is calculated by multiplying your annual spend by 25. Notice the emphasis on annual spend, not annual income. This calculation is based on the principle that you need £300 invested for every pound you wish to spend each month in passive income. Hence, your FIRE number is also your monthly spend times 300. This mathematical principle is founded on the 4% safe withdrawal rate, as defined by financial advisor William Bengen. He proposed this rate after analyzing the S&P 500, which typically produces an average of better than 10% growth per year when studied over a period of approximately 30 years. Bengen considered factors such as inflation and market volatility. After studying previous market activity, he concluded that a 4% rate of withdrawal per year would provide for a 30-year sustainable portfolio in the vast majority of cases. So to paint a clearer picture, if your monthly spend is £1,000, then your target for financial independence is 300 times 1,000, or £300,000. Alternatively, if your annual spend is £12,000, your financial independence target is 25 times 12,000, which also equates to £300,000. The first step in planning your financial independence, therefore, lies in understanding your monthly and yearly expenditure. Without this knowledge, it is impossible to take further strides towards your financial freedom. In summary, the mathematics of FIRE revolves around the principle of multiplying your annual spend by 25 or your monthly spend by 300 based on the 4% safe withdrawal rate. Knowing your monthly and annual spend is crucial in determining the amount you need to save to achieve financial independence. Armed with this knowledge, you can then plan your journey towards financial freedom. Remember, the journey to financial independence is not a sprint, but a marathon. Embrace the mathematics of FIRE and take the first step towards your financial independence today.
Good morning, guys. It is 10:45 on Tuesday, the 20th of May 2025, and that means we have completed 3 years and 7 weeks of this roughly 8-year FIRE journey. If you remember last time, I was asking the question whether or not we're seeing a V-shaped recovery at present, similar to the one seen just after COVID, and I do believe we are. Now that said, if you look at the current market value, we're sitting at £84.31. That represents virtually no change today so far, but nevertheless the graph is pretty clear. The last little bit of it is on the rise, and is rising pretty nicely. And I don't think it's unreasonable to think that it should continue upwards to pretty much where it had been prior to Donald Trump's tariffs announcements. Having a look at the portfolio on the right here, we own 276 3/4 shares, worth 23,300 odd, and that gives us a return on investment of just over 19%. The current average purchase price sitting at £70.70, and as regards the 52-week range there, you can see the little green bar heading in the upward direction, certainly on the higher side of that 12-month period. Before we have a look at the notifications, let me draw your attention to Monzo.
I want a bank that makes money easy.
That sounds perfectly reasonable.
And you are?
We're a bank called Monzo.
I want a bank that shows me what I spend instantly.
No problem, just give us a go. See?
Can you make splitting bills easy?
Super easy, check this out.
But it's a real faff to sign up.
It takes less than 10 minutes.
Race you.
You're on.
Can I talk to a real person 24/7?
Of course.
Even now?
Yep.
Even now?
Anytime.
Can you tell me when I'm running a little low on cash?
We certainly can.
Cool. Can I afford these?
You certainly can't, sorry. Can't afford that either.
That's a real shame.
Not really. Time's up, how'd you get on?
It's a draw.
Can you help me save for my next holiday?
Oh, how about you set up a savings pot in the Monzo app called Barbados, baby?
Thanks for listening, Monzo.
We're all ears.
We can go now.
Rude. You make Monzo Monzo.
Okay, now that that's done, let's have a little look at the notifications. So up at the top here, biggest stocks before earnings: Home Depot, BWLPG, Billy, I think that is, Trip.com and Canaan. Reddit falls 5% as analysts flag lasting damage from Google's AI search integration. Don't understand why that should impact Reddit, but there we are. United Health rises 4% as insiders signal confidence with new stock purchases following recent sell-off. So there you go, that's the notifications for today. Let's just do that. So now that we have looked at the notifications, we have seen the fact that there are affiliate links in the description for Monzo and Smarty Mobile. Let's go ahead and do our weekly investment. Actually, I probably need this on screen to be able to see. I do, to be able to see the buy button. So if you've watched the channel before, you know that every week I invest 120 theoretical pounds in the Vanguard S&P 500 exchange traded fund. And we're looking at the Trading 212 practice platform. This is the platform that I use personally. And 120 is not too far away from the weekly amount that I'm investing myself. At today's current value, it should buy us roughly 1.4 shares. I normally stream when the market is open, and that's certainly the case at present, and submit purchases as a market buy. Let's send it through and see what we got. So we got 1.42 shares, pretty much as expected. Purchase price 84.33.5, and our average purchase price has gone up about 7p, now up to £70.77. That brings the portfolio value up to 23,400 odd. I don't think there's an awful lot more to say really, other than it isn't a week since I last streamed, and the reason for that is quite simply I'm back at work for the next 3 days, so I'll not have an opportunity to get online in around what would have been the full week, but there we go. If you enjoyed this episode and you're interested in following the channel, why not think about giving this one a like and hit the subscribe button to follow along. And guys, that is going to be it for this week. Thank you for watching. I hope you find it interesting, entertaining, and maybe even informative. If you do, so much the better. But that's it from me for this week, guys. I'll be back again next week with more, and until then, enjoy the rest of your week.